It's Trekland Tuesdays Live. Yep. With me, Dr. Trek, Larry Nemecek, coming at you right here. I mean, really, right here. From the heart of Trekland right through Portal 47 for clarity, sanity, and the big picture and all things Star Trek. Big picture? Did you see Paramount Plus did there? Yeah, did you see what Paramount Plus did yesterday? I don't know if you missed yesterday. How did you miss yesterday? It was Contact Day, first of all. So you've got minus 41 years. Yeah, you've got minus 41 years and counting as of yesterday to get to First Contact, or depending on how you date First Contact, maybe it's November 1996 and you've had a while to deal with it. And the increasing legacy around First Contact Day that Voyager and Enterprise gave us, much less Lower Decks and all the rest. But yes, that was an incredible on panels and merchandising and promotion and announcements and news and set the buzzy internets afire. And you've got that all over the place. I almost hate the fact that Tuesday's following the day after. At least last fall, it was the day of, and I moved my shows, not to compete. But I hate being the day after because the internets are thick with everybody talking and reviewing. And it's good. That's fine. That's cool. Like a little dust to settle before Tuesday's Lives comes into the phrase and hopefully brings you something a little, not the same old, right? Because here's my point. Did you see what Plus did there yesterday? Yes, all the headlines new. You got trailers for Picard season. Q news, spoiler alert, you got the trailer. I mean, if you're watching me and you haven't watched all the news out of First Contact, well, welcome. I'm glad to be your first line responder. But yeah, Picard season 2, forget Q. He's got the Mintokan tapestry back on his chair. And his Stargazer model. And the mantle of the Picard family farm that's supposed to be anyway. There's all kinds of, it looks like he's emptied out his quantum archive chamber and populating it in holodeck recreated studio. It's on the La Serena, or he's really gone back to Earth. Yeah. If we say Larish and Jabon come around the corner. But no, a season 2 Picard trailer, a season 2 Lower Decks trailer, which is right back in that vibe, and yeah, a season 4 Discovery trailer. And the big reveal, which is getting funner and funner, the big reveal of exactly how Janeway fits into Star Trek Prodigy, the timeline for Prodigy, the fact that it's all going to be Delta Quadrant kids, and section that is. This is like the Bowery Boys in space. Google it. Yeah. So it was a big day. No Strange New World news. They've only been at it for like a month and a half. So, don't push things. On August 12th, I believe, air date for Lower Decks, which is interesting because Nickelodeon announced Prodigy as July, August, September, which makes me wonder if it's debuting ahead of time because they were going to clear it after it had a first run on. Can I just say how much nicer it is to say Paramount or Para Plus even, or P Plus than it is to have to say CBS All Access? Like it's some kind of ticket you buy and have to go through a turnstile. Okay. Yeah, this is all the weeds of the details of the news you got. And lots of fun, and a lot of good panels beyond that. They comedy, powerful women honoring Women in Motion. The documentary is going to, Paramount Plus has snapped it up. It was on Apple Plus and then independent sites. So yeah, all kinds of good stuff yesterday. And just the general hoopla of the day, because that's where the world lives, aren't we? Can't you eat Twitter? Isn't that sustaining in case of drought? Feels like it anyway, or the effort put into it anyway. But that's what I'm going to get at here. It dawned on me a couple of weeks ago when you started to see the final edition of all the promotion roll out for First Contact Day, which, yes, we've been promoting for a long time. We've been marking. We've been, once again, though, in this hashtag we live in now for the last 13 years or so. 13, 14 years, something like 12, 13, 14 years. At the earliest, especially with Twitter, branched into Instagram. That's all we need is another platform. And hey, everybody, once again, I will get into the chat stream here in a minute when we do our break. Okay, so if you're on Twitch and you're not just one of our Facebookers or YouTubers masquerading as a Twitcher, if you're just coming onto Twitch, I'll get to everything here in a minute. Hopefully, the picture and the audio is all good. But speaking of picture and audio, your picture and audio was just fine leading into First Contact Day. We know that April 5th, or April 4th, 5th. I know. We know that it's 2063. I think I did my math wrong a minute ago. See, I'm hazy on First Contact Day because it changed from the first draft of. This is the problem with having bounce of much access. I remember when the date for First Contact was something slightly different. And in my weird stick it all away and have to write on deadline for it, sometimes I'll snap back and forth between the two times, or I'll think a line was in an episode when it was cut later. See, this is the problem. This is why I didn't read books for years. That would have just made it worse. But yes, this whole thing with First Contact Day started as hashtag culture began, and Trek fans, it was cool. Trek fans also realized that we had a date that could compete with May the 4th Be With You, which was very clever and awesome and unique Star Wars, and power to them. And Star Trek had the birthday, which has now been just shortened to Star Trek Day. But back in my day, it was, it's happy anniversary of Star Trek Day. Yay. And we would like to say it verbally to each other occasionally if you were that nerdy and you're known to somebody that was in your club with you. Or you wanted to impress your special uncle or special aunt that did do it. No, yes, online world brought us that. And maybe you sent emails on Star Trek Anniversary Day or planned something fun. And as everything proliferated, and as we thought about it, First Contact Day became a thing too. Especially when here's the thing, when everybody in Star Trek, Naomi Wildman and Neelix celebrating First Contact Day, then it's dawning more and more, even though this was only the 90s, and you could email people. And so, hashtags came along, and we're hashtagging it. Happy First Contact Day. What? What brought it dawned on me. And I went back and checked this. I used some of our friends, like Trek Movie, to do a time capsule with, do a core sample. A temporal core. That's what archiving is called. And if you look back, fan thing, and then 2, 3, 4 years ago, some of the licensees started talking about First Contact Day. Of course, us, Hero Collector Ships, Ben and his gang, it made total sense for them to First Contact Day and have specials and things. But First Contact Day was starting to be marked by, of course, fans, podcaster, every blogger, every YouTuber out there would come up with their little logo with varying degrees of success. But people were marking it. What made this year different was what struck me historically as what happened, and I point to this all the time in hindsight, happened in 1986. The birthday of Star Trek started to be marked as, September 8th, 1966, the first airing, right? The first airing of Man Trap. The first time the public could see, because Star Trek was Cage had been shot in late 64 and finished in 65 and been rejected by February, March of 65. And then a second pilot shot well before that official birthday. But then, every baby is actually started before it enters the world. But the world is when everybody can see it and start making its comment and judgment. Nobody cared, obviously, because all shows, all things have or see it. And 10 years on, 1976, when we were awash with bicentennial this and bicentennial that, we were starting to get gaggingly sick of the bicentennial as far as the promotion crap went. And this was by friend Star Wars, don't forget. Revamped everything, merchandise and licensing. But a year before that, in the middle of the bicentennial, Gene and Majel at their Lincoln Enterprises had the Trek Centennial. I should have had a catalog. We've talked about this on the Trek Files out there. And they were like, hell, if Star Trek, if we don't. And you could get your little Trek Centennial medallion, the logo, the whole thing. U.S. Bicentennial, Trek Centennial. Trektennial, because cent meant 100. So it's just the Trektennial. We're talking about 10 years, 66 to 76. What happened, though, after that? After 1976 and 1, 2, 3 movies later, 1986, yes. Spock is on the cover of Newsweek. Yes. They know months ahead of time it's going to be a huge hit. They love the dailies they're seeing. There's such a wonderful vibe around the movie. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it to the point where they're talking finally about maybe it's time at last to do some more TV episodes so the local stations can have more to show after 20 years, after 15 years. But it won't be the old series stars again. It will be a new series because reality. But it's the original series. It's not a reboot, and it doesn't ignore them, and it's not a recasting. It's a let's go 80 years down the line. And suddenly no one realizes it then, but we've got verse here, not just a show that we're rebooting. So a bigger vision. Most of all, the meta level of all of this is that for the first time, the studio designs a logo. And you can get the Star Trek 20 Years logo not on a ream of property merchandise, licensed stuff. The fact that there is one. So that when they have the party with the John and the cat, yes, the cast cuts the cake with Gene and Majel, they're supposed to stick on signs. Not a lot of products. Maybe Lincoln is selling 20th anniversary patches and their own thing. But that's the marker. It's the first time the studio went, oh, we have a thing. Maybe we should promote this in a big way. Well, look what happened. The coming of, and things are small germinations, small seeds. Our friends in licensing who are about product and about packaging, when it's not something that originated with the screen, it's a toy from the screen, but it's a toy, it's a book, it's a game. They're very conscious of marketing, but nobody else does unless there's a thing to show on a screen, right? And there had been, again, seeds of anniversary marketing before that, obviously. There was a every 5 years logo. But everybody really got involved from the 50th onward. And there were 25th anniversary specials, 20th anniversary specials. You had tie-in events. Spock on Next Generation. Woohoo. Flashback and Trials and Tribulations, 30th anniversary. Woohoo. Some anniversaries, there was no fresh Star Trek. Hello, 2006. You had the announcement of a movie coming at some point with a new guy in it, kind of. But there is a barometer when the maker decides to embrace the fan moment and run with it. And there's a lead up to that. What I'm saying here is Star Trek Day, the birthday, the anniversary day, had been embraced for years. Fall, cool, we've got a day. And yes, I actually showed the man trap 2 days before. I know. But that wasn't everybody, and that wasn't the intended audience. So you are an asterisk in the footnotes of history. You are noticed and you are remembered. But we're going to stick with 9/8/66, okay? Now we've got a second day. It's been coming, but oh my God, yes, what you saw yesterday was the full bore of corporate budget promotional back strength. Bolstered, of course, by this awesome social media team that's been running around the last couple of years, building. And yeah, putting the live panels together for conventions, especially that we've seen in the pandemic era, But look what else has happened. Studio, CBS, Paramount Plus, CBS Viacom, whatever we're calling it, they claimed not only September, April 5th, April 4th, April 5th. See, both of them get mentioned. Now you've got the flexibility of different seasons of the year. Do you have some fall announcements? Do you have some spring announcements? You don't have to wait for the cons. You can be in charge of your own calendar destiny. And you've got a fall and you've got a spring moment to do that. And it's funny how it took a while for that to come in, but maybe it just needed some budget and some personnel and some heft. Because I know how, corporations are just as diverse as anything else. And you've got the crowd that's got the vision, and you've got the crowd that needs to be convinced, and you got the crowd not paying attention. But when everybody gets going in the same direction, when you have the synergy of the gears, it's my new symphony. It's a beautiful thing. This year, in short, too late, was the first time the studio designed a logo. I checked. It was a studio designed logo for First Contact Day. And you may say, well, big deal. But it's a barometer, kids. I'm telling you, it's a barometer, just like that first logo back in '86 signified the start of something. And maybe it's just a step along a spectrum, which it is. But it's interesting to mark that because it implies so much. It implies promotion. It implies that even the overblown, bloated corporation bureaucracy, the advance wing, and the guys falling behind, and even behind them, the lawyers, everybody is on board with realizing how important this is. And yeah, they can make, but what a tool it is, what an important thing is, and for the believers among them, how much fun it can be. And since we live in an age of very consumer audience, fan attuned marketing, and we live in Comic-Con world, it's very important, and it's the most listened to. I would dare say in '86, most of the decisions were being made by people that had to have a filter of what do the kids say, what do the kids want, and right now we're having a lot of the kids run things. So it's even more close, it's even more organic and felt. And I think you felt that after a year of pandemic virtual programming. You've seen the rapid evolution to the point where now they've stepped up, and they've stepped up everything at Paramount Plus now with the combined wings. The remerger has helped, yay, the reconciliation, the Viacom divorce. That's all helped. Everybody's on the same page. They're still unifying. We're seeing the results of that. The way the movie may or may not move forward, but a movie, the first of other movies, may move forward. But with all the wagons in a circle, all about to head out on the same train, we're seeing what all that is bearing fruit now. And we're also seeing bearing fruit of having how many shows in live production now, but not so as to burn anyone out. Did it look like there was burnout in between the cracks? No, because we're only talking 8, 10, 13 episode seasons, everything carefully spaced out to where you're not being double teamed. So, since apparently there's an ambulance coming for me, yeah. Did you see what Paramount Plus did there? They just made a logo. And as one of my coaches loves to say, branding is not just a logo. In some cases, it can be a big symbol. It can be a real marker that something has switched, something has pivoted, and now we've got 2 days. So take that, May the 4th. And yeah, take that, May the 4th. Hope you had a happy First Contact Day. Hope you had the opportunity to share Star Trek with everybody around you. In a non-nerdy, non-annoying way, hopefully, because we're not trying to, poison the milk here. We're trying to gain people, not run them off. But it's getting easier and easier and easier to do that. And I know a lot of people still have their reservations about the new shows, but the more they roll these out, the more that everything is put up side by side, the more what I've been calling the buffet effect is going to be out there. And I got into this with, not got into it, I discussed this online with a couple of people last night. The buffet effect, that these things aren't all out of the same kettle. They're not the same recipe, just poured in different molds. There's different tastes and flavors as you get different people involved in show running all of this. As Alex Kurtzman becomes more and more Dick Wolf, you're going to have different flavors. And now that you've got two different styles of animation at two different levels, I'm so excited for Prodigy. I cannot wait to see what they do with it. I can't wait to sit down with, yes, I'll say it, I can't wait to, my granddaughter is about to turn 5. And I cannot wait to sit down with her with Prodigy. I mean, I can't wait to sit down with her with anything past once in a blue moon get-togethers once this damn pandemic is over. But I can't wait to sit down with her. There is so much of that I see online, and that will drive your action figures back at Target and Walmart if you're an old schooler. That will sure do it. And then we'll really be doing a lot more to grow the fan base besides just hoping that the Trekkie reproduction rate can keep up. Yeah. A logo for First Contact Day from the studio. Who'd have thought it? I thought it. So anyway, we're going to get to the chat here in a minute. I'm going to take a break right now, though. Leave you some reminders. Then we'll be back. We'll be back with the Parrot Analytics, and we'll dive into what everybody's talking about today. News from yesterday. Anybody is especially moved by what I just said, that's cool. But as we wind down here, at first, I want to do thank, as I promised. Hey, I want to do a shout out to Blaze K, right? Robin Wilson, Lawrence Todd, Anna Marie Siegel, Blake Arledge. Did I say Anna Marie? Anne Marie. I'm so sorry. Justin Porteous and Nathaniel Robinson. Hey, guys, thanks for being a TTLer tier. And of our live wires, get it? Trekland Tuesdays live wire. Get it? Okay, yeah. Of the live wires, thank you, Rusty Harrell, Halbert Gudjohnson, J. Lynn Bullock, Gary Williams, Jared Cooper, Mr. Vestek, Robert McLeod, and McLean. What is with me today? I have to mispronounce Casey's name now, I guess. And Casey Shafsky. Thanks, guys. What am I talking about there? If you're not up with Patreon, it's a way to support your creative folks by subscription or one-off projects. I have a very simple $5 and $10 tier. We just did the roundup for the month. Patreon.com/Trekland Live, and you can help me out as we further and perfect it. It's come a long way in the last year. One of these days, we're going to all look around and see what the pandemic actually pushed us into. I mean, I think some of the things are pretty obvious. Of course, one thing that preceded the pandemic was the Trek Files. There's a new one up with my old buddy and boss, Dan Madsen, talking about the official fan club. I know a lot of you guys are ancient, and you were members of the official fan club. Even if you read Communicator in the later years, when you didn't have to be, you could buy Communicator on newsstands because we were that good. But originally, the Communicator was the biggest membership perk of being in the official fan club nationally. And Dan was the man who could have been shut down with his own cease and desist letter. But Gene, in his wisdom, said, let's bring him into the family. Anyway, we talk about it today. Check it out over at Roddenberry Podcasts. There's more there, too. You can find them all at podcast.roddenberry.com. Check out the Sci-Fi 5, new little 5-minute sci-fi history podcast, which occasionally are Trek subject, if you saw the one for a week ago yesterday. Check that out too, as well as all the other great Roddenberry podcasts. Trek Files, our paper of the week is out there on Facebook, though. Okay, that's where you find the documents every week. But I appreciate that. Of course, we just had our 50th episode. We're back for episode 51 this next week. But join us if you can. Wait, was that right? No. We had 51. We'll be for 52. It's like a deck of cards over there. Life Support Live with Dr. Ali and I on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 Central Europe. We go boldly through uncertain times. We'd love to have you in our chat. We have a different theme every week. That's wonderful. And one more yell out to friends of Michael Braveheart, helping him out with the medical. This is old. He's over halfway to his very modest $3,000 medical GoFundMe. You can find it at GoFundMe. look for Friends of Michael Braveheart, and you'll get it. Yeah, Life Support Live, Born of the Pandemic. Trek Files Before the Pandemic. Guys, we had our 200th episode last week. Thanks again for everybody who made it live with us. This is episode 201. 201. And otherwise, if you're watching YouTube, hey, that is if you're watching Twitter, that's the YouTube channel. Larry Nemecek on Twitter, Larry Nemecek's Trekland on Instagram as well as Facebook. And hey, if you enjoy this point of view I'm bringing, you got a hint of it today. Join us at Portal 47. Remember Portal 47? Yes. Very proud of Portal 47. We're deep diving all month long, like a mini-con all year long, where no Savvy fan has gone before. I'm very excited because tomorrow night we have the guy, my Portal 47 guest, and of course you only are with us if you're a deep diver yourself. But our guest tomorrow night is the guy who started the syndicated revolution for Star Trek, which, in other words, means one of the people. That's the reason why we have Star Trek today still. Why Star Trek didn't die as a failed little 3-year TV show in 1969. Dick Block. Can't wait for that. I can't wait to be back with you guys in just a second. If you're with us live, if you're watching YouTube, hey, thanks for doing so. Please like and subscribe and do all the YouTube stuff. I got into the hunt for numbers late, but you can help me catch up. All right, guys, as always, if you're leaving us right now, please stay healthy and can still go on. Please stay woke and keep checking the sources of what you read. Keep checking out the profile of the guy you're about to get in an argument with. He's probably just baiting you if it's that outrageous. Most of all, till next Tuesday or whenever we meet, trek well, everybody.